This is Carl at National RV Detroit. I'm going to walk you through this 2025 Forest River Salem. And the model is a 34 veranda. Okay, so I'm just going to show you some of the features and how they work. So we'll start here at the door side rear. Right now your back deck is retracted. So it extends a few feet farther back. You have a crank type stabilizer, scissor type. There's a step and a gateway to get up onto the deck from outside. Okay, you have a power awning with LED strip, outside TV bracket. Signal out, because everything's frozen, so I'm not going to force that. Signal out and power for the TV. It's very, very cold here, as you might imagine. Okay. This front stabilizer here is powered. And there's also another powered. Let me say this clearer. The front and the rear are powered. One switch here at the rear controls both rear. The switch up in the front controls both front. You also have this crank down stabilizer for the porch, the back porch or deck, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so has a combination of powered and manual. This is your fill for your fresh water tank. The most common way to get water to the trailer is a city water hookup, of course, but excuse me. That's on the other side. I'll show it to you. But if you're camping someplace without city water, if you're boondocking somewhere, you can pre-fill this and then use the onboard pump to pump the water. All your plumbing will work as though you have city water. You just be pumping it out of the tank. So this is your 50 amp power cord, plus you have a reducer here to reduce it down. Okay, you have cranks. This smaller one here is for the power tongue jack. If the power tongue jack ever fails, it's also got a light in it, but if it ever fails, you can pull this plug and use the manual crank to crank it to get yourself out of trouble. There's another crank in here, as you can't see the other end of it very well, but what it is a, let's do this. What it is a cylinder with a slot cut through it. That's going to be another emergency crank for your power stabilizers. I'm coming around here to the off-door side, and you can see on this side of your jack assembly or your stabilizer assembly, you've got a shaft with a pin through it. Well, that crank with the cylinder with the slot cut in it will fit right over that. So you can crank these manually to get yourself out of trouble if for some reason you have a failure on them, whether it's power or an accident or whatever. So just a way to get yourself out of trouble. Now this area here is heated, and this is the lift system for your bed under here, just so you can see it. Okay, all right, so let's close this up. Okay, so you have a deep cycle marine battery, 2 LP tanks, your power tongue jack, kill switch for your battery. If you want to disconnect your battery, you can shut it off right there. Of course, spare tire. This is your on-demand hot water right here. So keep in mind that there's a master switch right here. You can flip this. Obviously it's off now, but it's winterized and it's filled with antifreeze, so that's why it's off. When you have it in storage, you can shut it off and just turn it on when you need it for camping. There's also a control panel inside, which I'll show you when we get in there, and we can talk a bit more about it when I get in there, okay? Just remember that that kill switch is there, or the master switch is there. Outside shower slash sprayer. That's your, obviously, your furnace vent. Okay. If we move down, huge slide out. There's ice everywhere here. I'm trying not to break my neck here. Okay, so this is where your power cord, your 50 amp cord would plug in. This is just a shop cord here. This is the fresh water hook up here. So I told you that, you know, you fill the fresh water tank on the other side if you don't have city water. If you have city water, you're just going to use this right here. This one here is your black tank flush. So after you dump your black tank, the valves are, oh, they're under here. Well, there's one right there, but the valves are your gray and your black valves are under there. So before you use the flush, you got to make sure, like it says on this sticker here, make sure that your black tank valve is in the open position. Then you can put the hose from the dump station right on there, turn it on, and flush out your tank. Spray off the sensor so you get a good accurate reading, that sort of thing. But just make sure you have your dump valve open when you do that. All right. Okay. Okay. As I look around. Those are your low point drains there. You're pre-wired for a Furrion backup camera kit here, so if you want to add that on, it's a very simple install. Just make sure you get the right kit that fits in that housing. Okay, so let's go inside where the furnace is running. I think they're still cleaning up in there a bit too as we go. Okay. Oops. Got somebody laying down here. On the floor. I'm just cleaning up here. Okay. Okay. So I'll go right to the outside here and finish up in the back where I started. So this is going to be your, obviously your sink. And that the faucet twists up and in a regular position it's stowed right now. Okay, you have, this is a griddle. Now the griddle part, let me do this right here. Everything's frozen. Great. Oh, I just hit it. Oh, there we go. Okay. So, the iron part of your griddle is inside in the pantry on the floor. So that's where it's at. You have a quick connect down here. If you can see it right over here, it's got a quick connect fitting, and you'll attach it over here to get gas to the griddle itself. Okay, so keep that in mind. And to light it, you're just going to depress. You're going to put it to the light position and depress it, and it'll light itself. Okay. Okay. This also goes out farther. I'm looking to see if I have enough room here. Let's see here. Right when we come in the door here, we have this is a master switch with a dimmer on it. Right. This is your patio extend and retract. So I'll just show you a little bit here because so you get an idea. It goes in and out, drops right into place. Okay. Your slide room, you can, behind your sofa here, you have a screen that'll go in your sliding door. And then you have some storage underneath here. You pull up and there's a storage compartment. You have a fireplace and a television, of course. The fireplace This is the remote for it right here. It's oh, my fingers are still froze here. It's they're so basically off, right? Pretty simple. Now this has a fan in it, so it's a really good space heater. So I'll turn it on, and then if you see there, it says low, if you can see that. High, that's the fan speed. So right now it's really kicking. It has a timer on it, so you can set it to turn on and off when you want. It has different colors for the flame and the log. Okay. So it's a really good space heater on those mornings or evenings where you don't quite need to use the furnace. You can use campground power instead of using up your limited supply of LP. Okay. Let's see what else we have here. TV. This is Jensen. I'm gonna look and see if he's got the batteries in here. Yes, or does he? Yes. Okay. There's nothing exceptional about it. I mean, it works like all TVs do, so you can use that. It does have a strap to keep it in place, so it doesn't bounce right off of the rack or anything. So make sure you strap it if you're going to be in transit. Okay. Let's just look around here. Okay, so I mentioned the pantry and the griddle top. There's the griddle top right there. Okay. This pulls out, as I'm sure you know. I'll just pull it a little bit so you can see it. It pulls out. It also has a strap for it, it looks like. Yeah, you can strap it. Let me do this way here. I guess if you strap it, you button the button here. Sorry about my camera work. It'll keep it from just flying out all the way if you happen to hit the wrong bump or something and while you're traveling. Okay, so your refrigerator is a 12-volt DC refrigerator, so it runs on 12 volts. Your packet with your stuff in it is here, all your literature. You get some touch-up crayons with it. Go in there. Your keys are hanging right there, of course. Waste pail. This comes up here, this hood, if you want to call it that, I guess. And you have your range hood. There's your fan and your light. Then you have a regular microwave, works like any other microwave. Your range. Let's see, you have your sparker here, so you turn it clockwise to spark, and then you have 3 knobs for your burners, and then this one on the right is for your oven. Let's just see how it works here. It might take a minute for the gas to get up because we just hooked up with the tank, and there's going to be a little air bubble in line. So once we work past that bubble, it'll light really quickly. Wait a minute. Let me set this down here for a second so I can use both my hands here. Hopefully. Okay. So let me make sure I'm doing this right here. Yeah. So now that I work past the bubble, it's not a problem, okay? Alrighty. When it comes to the oven, you have a oven light down here, and there's a pilot light all the way at the back, right? So you can see the spark back there. So what you do is you go to the picture of the flame, then you depress this. You keep it depressed while you're lighting it. You spark it until it lights down here. After it lights, you still hold this in for another 10 or 15 seconds to heat up the thermocouple. Then you go to operating temperature, and it cycles as an oven does. When you shut it off, the flame goes out, obviously, but so does the pilot light. So you have to relight the pilot light each time you use the oven. Always travel with this closed in the down position. And you have some controls down here. This is your power converter here. This converts AC to DC power. So when you're plugged in, you got regular 120 AC circuit breakers here, and they're all labeled, right? Then it converts the 120 AC down to 12 volt DC on this side. So you got 12 volt DC fuses there, and they're labeled. That's where your 12 volt comes from. It's also a battery tender. As long as you're plugged in, it's going to sense how much energy your battery up on the tongue needs and has, and it'll send as many amps necessary up there to charge it up as quickly as it can, okay? And this is your a slide room controller, another one. It looks like you have two controllers. The other one is over here, right here. Okay, I guess it's just easier to reach that one. Although there's no problem to reach around the corner and operate it when the slide out is in. So that's for your power awning. Never leave the power awning out unattended. If you're not going to be at the campsite, roll it in so it doesn't get damaged. Another dimmer, and on and off. Your water pump is here. The water pump, remember, is used to pump water out of the fresh water tank if you don't have city water. It's also used to winterize the trailer. Your lights here, and then all your levels are here. Battery's charged, black tank is empty, so on and so forth. It's pre-wired for a solar controller right here. So it has the ports on the roof, the standard solar ports on the roof, and then this is a cutout for your the Dometic Go Power solar controller. So it's very easy to upgrade to solar if you want. This is your Bluetooth here. So you can either plug into this with a USB-C, or it has, like I said, it has a Bluetooth, and it's self-explanatory. Obviously, it's got your pause and your forward control, and you can turn it on that way. So, okay, that's self-explanatory. When you this is the thermostat, and basically you just push the knob till you get to mode, which is right there. Right now it's on heat, but I'll just go through it. Cool, off, back to heat. We'll leave it at heat. Push it again. Now he's got up to 99. That's just how it was shipped. But we'll roll it back to 72 and accept it by pushing it. And now we're set. You do this, obviously, if you can do this, the same thing. You select air conditioning and or cool, and then you can set the temperature, you know, the same way. So that's pretty basic. Your okay, so here's the controller for your on-demand water. Now it's shut off, so I can't turn it on. It's got antifreeze in it. So this button here in the lower left-hand corner just changes it between Celsius and Fahrenheit. Right, the screen. On and off, obviously, turns it on. When you turn it on, you'll see this one will be set at probably 120 degrees Fahrenheit. If you want to lower it to 115, which is a lot of people use 115, you just push down to go to 115. If you want to keep it at 120, keep it. You can adjust to what you want, obviously, by doing that. As soon as you turn on any hot water tap, it can be outside, it can be any one of them. A wheel will start turning on the screen, and then you'll see a picture of a flame simulating it lighting, and then once it lights, you'll see the numbers start to go up from 0 to 120. If you got it set at 120, go up to 120 very quickly, and you know that you've reached your operating temperature. So it goes from 0 to the operating temperature very quickly, and you get non-stop hot water. So it's great, especially when it comes to showers. The 6-gallon water heater, even the 10-gallon water heater, do not cut it. So this is a great thing. We're seeing them in most of them now. It started off slow, but this year just about all of them have it. It's going to be a standard thing, I'm sure. Okay, so your toilet has a flush pedal right here, as you can see. So what you're going to do is you're going to, when you get to the campground, you hook up your power and your water. Of course, you'll come in here and you'll throw a dose of chemical right in the bowl, and then you'll step on the pedal and hold it down for until about a gallon of water goes into the tank below along with the chemical. You can use more than a gallon of water, just don't use less. But use a gallon of water or more and the dose of chemical, you're all set. If you don't do that, it's considered using it dry, and that basically it'll get clogged up, it'll smell terrible, it's just a mess. So make sure you start off with at least a gallon of water and a dose of chemical. If you're going to stay at the campground for another week, let's say, but you have to dump your tank, right? You would dump it, and then because you're going to stay, you come in here and repeat the procedure: a dose of chemical and at least a gallon of water. So that's important, obviously. It's a mistake you'll only make once if you don't put chemical and water in it. This is a GFCI. I'm showing it to you. There's probably two in this trailer. All the plugs in the trailer are wired through a GFCI, even the one on the outside. So even if it's a regular duplex plug, it's still wired through a GFCI. So if you're using something outside and it pops, you're still going to reset it in here. Anytime you lose receptacle, always think GFCI. Okay? And here we are in the bedroom. You got a second air conditioner, of course. That's why it's a 50 amp system. You got your TV hookups here. Keep in mind this green LED is on. You can shut it off there, but you don't want to do that. You want it on. That tells you your digital antenna is on. You won't get a good picture without it. And you got a backer here for a swing out bracket, whatever you want to do, if you want a TV here or not. This is telling you that this is pre-wired for a King Wi-Fi booster system. So you can go to kingconnect.com and look at their pre-wired packages. There's a port on the roof where an antenna would go, and then a router would attach here, and you just get better public Wi-Fi. It's a booster, and if your family uses a lot of Wi-Fi, which I'm sure they do, it's something you probably want to look at anyway. It's pre-wired. Okay. This is also pre-plumbed and wired for a washer dryer stackable or combo. Most people like the stackable because you can do more clothes, you know. With a combo you're limited. Okay, more clothes faster, I should say. This is the controller for your bed. You want to go down, actuator brings it down or up. Okay, we'll just go back down with it almost all the way. Okay, and of course you just have storage. Every place they can put storage they do, just like a boat. Okay, your bunks, of course. I think that covers it. This fan is a very powerful fan. It's got a cover on it, so you can open it up in the rain if you want. So it's a good, powerful fan. Okay, I think that covers it. Looking around here, I think we've got it. Okay, so I want to thank you for purchasing your trailer here at National RV Detroit. Please remember that the manufacturer states you should inspect your roof every 90 days or so. So you want someone to look at the roof, make sure there's no damage that's done to any of the roofing attachments or roofing material that could be, you know, done by, let's say, low branches hitting it or road debris flying up there. You want to look at the sealant, make sure there's no cracking or separation where water could get through. Odds are years and years and years will go by before you have to do anything to the roof, but you just don't know unless you look. You can't see what happens up there unless somebody looks, so it's important a couple times a summer or a season, every 90 days or so, go up there and look. Have somebody else go up there and look. Be very careful and make sure everything's in good shape, okay? People, generally speaking, do not inspect their trailer roof enough, so it's something to keep after to protect your investment. Like I said, odds are you won't have to do anything for a long time, but you just don't know. So, and secondly, this is winterized. There's antifreeze in the system. The water's been purged, so it's set for the winter time, okay? Thank you very much.